Hey, what's up? This is Steve USS Cunningham here, and I'm rocking with Sporting Icons. Make sure you check them guys out, man. Word up.
Your boxing here for Sporting Icons with the legendary, a one boxing mind, absolute professional when he was in the game, and a trainer to a one Deontay Wilder, Mr. Malik Scott. How are you doing, sir?
How you doing, brother? I'm on my way over there. Where you at right now?
I'm in Southampton, mate. So hopefully, we can we can
Oh
touch
yeah,
base when you're here. I'll treat you to a beer.
I'm on my way on that side of the pond right now, man. Treat me to a Moscow meal, not a beer.
I'll treat you to whatever you like for giving me this interview. Thank you
My
again
man.
so
Yeah.
much. Obviously, safe flight for when you do depart. But hopefully we can keep the connection going. Obviously after the interview. However, sir, I'm sure that you are a man in demand. Obviously, you are training a Mr. Gerald Washington for a war with Derek Chisora. I'm just gonna go
Right.
straight into it now.
hmm
What is your opinion on Dillian Whyte and obviously the failed test? Just what are your thoughts on everything?
Well, well. First of all, I have me and Dylan. We spent a lot of time together. He had me in his camp before for about 6, 7 weeks. Over time, what I mean, we built a form of mutual respect for each other when he was here in Cali. So I like to put that there first, and that's my way of letting you guys know I'm not going to bite his back on it all, regardless of the wrongdoings of any of this that's going on. That's just how I am. I don't really kick people while they're down, especially people that I consider somewhat like a friend. But it's an unfortunate situation. And it's very unfortunate because Dylan have been through this, I think, 2 or 3 times. This is the third time. So, they're not gonna cut him no slack. Um,
Oh, you
of
should
course,
see what's going on online. Jesus.
yeah, I'm sure they're not gonna cut him no slack. And but we all gotta be responsible. We all gotta be accountable, not just in the ring, but also on the outside. And whatever the Dillons is that's going on the outside with Dylan and these issues right here, he's going to have to deal with. And I just hope it's not the end of him because these type of situations can like literally, put a fighter in his revenue on the financial ladder in huge jeopardy. So I hope it's not that type of case. But I will say this also: anybody that do wrong, whether it's Dylan, whether it's myself, whether you anybody, we all got to be accountable for our actions and whatever the punishment is given. If he's guilty or whatever it is so called, he got to face that like a man. And I expect him to do nothing but that.
I mean, that's brilliant. As you've said over there, it is his third time. People are, twice shy, once bitten, twice shy, and obviously three times a charm. People are obviously, you know, because of the fashion in which the announcement was made, people are obviously, trial by media. Everybody does think that Dillian is guilty. However, we will obviously wait for more coming out on that case. Now, Mr. Gerald Washington,
Right.
there is conflicting just
Yeah.
everything. Yes. And that's why obviously I reached out to yourself
Shit
because
is all over the place, right?
it is all over the place, Malik. Like nobody knows what's actually happening. We've had a
Yeah,
tweet
yeah.
coming through from Umar IFL Umar saying that your man has been ruled out of the Anthony Joshua fight. We've then had a Michael Benson tweet,
I
literally in
can't
real
hear.
time.
So wait. Slow it down, brother, so I can understand you. Say it again.
Oh, I do apologize. So
It's okay.
obviously, Umar has obviously come out. I believe Eddie text Gareth A. Davis to say that your man has been ruled out of the Anthony Joshua fight. Michael Benson
Mhm.
has released a tweet saying that, Gerald is still in the running. However, other fighters have been approached and have approached Eddie for the fight. Can we just get a little bit of clarity from yourself?
I just know one thing. Me and Gerald Washington, we gonna show up to fight Anthony Joshua or Derek Chisora. Whichever one. Like, I mean, we've been working for a year, going to different camps, traveling together, getting better at his craft standpoint. He's made some huge changes. He's constantly always in the gym. When you see him, you're going to tell he's in great shape. And, whichever one of them it is, Gerald's going to look good against. And I'm looking forward to it. This is the greatest show on earth, man. This is the
Mm.
only type of shit. This is the only sport this type of shit happening to all the way down to the nemesis of fight week. So
It
it's
is.
good.
It is
Yeah.
literally a soap opera that, obviously that's why we love this sport. It gives us drama, it gives us highs. When the highs are high, the lows are very low. This is obviously one of those occasions I'm assuming that the show is definitely going on. I see your bags are all packed, and I'm assuming that you guys are coming down here to fight on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. We're coming to fight somebody, man. We've been preparing, and the show should go on.
Hmm.
Anthony Joshua, is a huge, you could say icon in heavyweight boxing, especially British heavyweight boxing. So these type of things, when you have someone that has the market as big as Anthony Joshua, these things go on. And even though it seemed like we got very, very little time to allow the show to continue,
Hmm.
um, Anthony Joshua has a smorgasbord of opponents to pick from, or whoever it is. Like, you know what I mean? So, it's a big deal, but really, it's really not because of who the main man is. If this was another type of card, these guys that don't have as much as a big market as Anthony Joshua, the whole card would have to be canceled.
Hmm.
But AJ wants to fight, obviously. He's been training, doing some good work, I'm assuming, with Derek James. He can't wait to get in the ring under the lights and try those things again. So we'll see. Like, if he won us, we're here. We're going to be there. If not, then Chisora will get this issue.
Has Eddie reached out to you? Obviously, I don't know how involved you are in terms of the negotiations, but how involved are you with that? How likely is Gerald to get the fight? Is it just kind of a 50-50 when you get here, you find out, or?
He's a heavyweight that's on the card. That's
Mm.
how close he is getting the fight. You know what I mean? So, not just him. You got Hagovic, you have McKean, you have Chisora, and you have Gerald. The smart move would be obviously to get one of the guys on the card because they are already anticipating fighting, which means that they are already in some kind of shape.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and also, the last time they had a last minute fight come in, I believe Joshua lost, and that was against Ruiz. So they got to be very careful about how they go about these pickings. But we'll see what they do. Like I said, it's the greatest show on earth. We're a part of it. We come to fight. Gerald has been training. I have been teaching. So much, and we're looking forward to the show, man.
You've been praised by Eddie Hearn and a vast plethora of others for your boxing brain knowledge and the way that you're training your fighters. Because obviously, as we know, fighters and trainers, sometimes a fighter can't be a trainer. But however, you've made the transition so smoothly. Now that I've got you, I do need to kind of ask about, somebody that you have trained and are training, a Mr. Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. Do we have any update on any opposition? Is there, I know that you had obviously sent an offer to Andy Ruiz. Not really sure what Andy is doing at the minute, but will we have an opponent for Deontay Wilder before the end of the year?
Yeah, we're working on it. If these guys want to fight, Deontay's willing to fight, but he's not going to be taken advantage of. And what I mean by that, he's not going to deal with these guys that's trying to outprice themselves, that's never had, you could say big purse money, but when they get with Deontay, they want to outprice themselves. And that's their way of saying, that's the modern way of saying that you don't want to fight, I'm noticing. If you never made $5 million, who are you to think you to get $15 million?
Mhm.
Actually, $3 million is a whole lot of money to someone that never seen anything above that or even something like that. So, things like that are being dealing with. We got to get the proper opponent. We got to get the proper dates, the proper TV dates, networks. So, pardon me. So saying that, obviously AJ has been in the works, hopefully for January, if things play out how it's supposed to play out. And we're trying to get one fight in between that. But if not, it don't matter. When
You-
Deontay get in the ring,
So,
it won't matter, man.
so as we understand it, obviously, in my personal opinion, I believe that it would be very, as we've seen with the Josh Taylors and as we've seen with an Errol Spence, inactivity is killing elite fighters. Obviously, maybe this might not apply to Deontay, considering that he is such an elite puncher and he can obviously send you to the ninth gate of Asgard Valhalla with just one punch.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
what have you been working on with Deontay while obviously training him for all of these months, in terms of, boxing ability, ring IQ? What's sort of been the main thing that you guys have been focusing on?
Everything he does well, we just drill it. And things that I want to add on that I see he's done from a subconscious space, I make sure we drill those things as well. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, at the highest level, a lot of these super talented guys, especially someone like, you could say, Deontay, who is an extreme talent when it comes to the way he's wired, his power, his speed, and all of this comes in a very small package, you would say, for his build. He's not like a bulky type of guy. So what I do is I just add on my knowledge to everything that he already has. And I drill everything that I see him do very well subconsciously. And I make sure that we put the intent behind it. I make sure we drill it repetitiously. And I just make sure that he's always staying on point when it comes to that. So we'll say, what are some of the things that I believe that we work on without giving everything away? I believe not just Deontay, but every fighter should know how to fight every direction that he goes in a boxing ring. You got some fighters, even at the highest level, when it's time for these guys to go to their right side, they get hit with left hooks, they cross feet, they don't hold themselves accountable. They go to their left side, they're very, very comfortable. You got some guys that you could push back and they're very uncomfortable. And you got some guys that when they come forward, they're not that effective. Case in point, Robert Helenius. Anybody that come to Robert Helenius, he'll most likely knock out. But when Robert Helenius has to come to you, he usually gets knocked out. And that was the game plan that we put together for the Helenius knockout. That's why it was so tragic for him, because Deontay hunted him from the back foot. And when Deontay hunts you from the back foot, in my opinion, the knockouts are worse because it's almost like there's a head-on collision. You're coming into the bomb.
Yeah.
And so we just, just set these guys up. They walk on a landmine when they're dealing with Deontay. And his mind is so open. Like he always say, you could put a spaceship in it. And that's because he's a sponge for knowledge. And even though I'm his trainer, we strategize together. Myself, him, JD's, because this is all a collective thing that we all do together. Obviously, I'm a film study geek, junkie. So I go in the extra yard where most guys are asleep, or most guys are with their kids, or most guys are hanging out. I am one of the most boring individuals in the world. All I do is watch boxing and crime shows. So that's my life. And what do I do when I'm watching boxing and crime shows? They run parallel to me depending on who the criminal is. And I hate to say this is going to sound very peculiar to most people, but you actually have some people that are that same smooth criminals. And I believe if boxing was like that, Deontay would be considered now a smooth criminal because he's doing tragic things, but from a very smooth, systematic base. And but that's what I do, man. I'm geeked out. I love this sport. Most fighters have had jobs their whole life. They've been well traveled their whole life. They have had so many different experiences. Since the age of 12, I've never had a job. It's been all boxing. Everything I have, this shirt, this hat, everything I have in life or don't have, it comes from boxing. You know what I mean? So I'm a high value, not just in Deontay's corner, but I'm high value if anybody corner that I work in. And I believe myself to the highest capacity that my knowledge, my will to study and learn an opponent and continue to learn this noble art can match up against any old trainer or a new trainer in this game. And I'm still learning. And I'm still my own sponge. So, it all works out. All I do is drill Deontay when we get together. And when we train it, we drill, practice, come up with different sequences to set these guys up. And most of these guys are going to walk right into the bomb. And then the guys that don't want to walk into the bomb because they're extra cautious, we got an incredible feint game that will make them commit and then make them pay. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this on his second one. I actually think Deontay's second half of his career, which is now, is going to be his most funnest part of his career right now because his mind is more open than ever. He got a geek like myself in his corner. He had a strategist like JD still in his corner. He got a young, hungry trainer. like Cuz Hill in this corner. We have Don House, who's been in the game for years. We have our brother now, strength coach Joey Scott. So collectively, we're the dream team. And we got the most, in my opinion, the most imposing and the most dynamic heavyweight in the history of the sport that we train every day. And it's a good thing. And I'm looking forward to training camp, man. I'm a camp head. I don't like being home. I don't like hanging out. I like literally being in training camp, in the room, to the gym, in the room, looking at film, taking my notes down, coming up with strategies, having bad days in the gym, fixing those bad days, getting frustrated, Deontay being moody and still giving me great days, and me having to deal with the mood swings, not just from Deontay, but this is just how fighters we are in general. And you have to be a special person, a special teacher to know how to deal with them things. And so far, I'm doing very well, man. I'm doing very well. Just not with Deontay, with my other fighters, with my clients. And I believe that's because I tell people this all the time. As much as I'm teaching people, they're teaching me as well too.
Yep.
So I'm making fighters dangerous, and they're making my mind dangerous as well.
Malik, absolutely incredible. I could genuinely listen to you speak about the boxing and the training, and everything that you're doing with Deontay all day. Just one more question for myself. You mentioned there that this is the second half of Deontay's career. Now, obviously, heavyweights do have longevity, far longer longevity compared to the lower weight classes. Now, Deontay is, I believe, he's 38. Now, how many years realistically does he have left in him? Will it depend on the Anthony Joshua fight? And is there a rematch clause for that fight?
Oh, I don't know about the rematch clause, because first of all, nothing is guaranteed in boxing to me until after it's done. I didn't see fighters get in the ring and get right out the ring. I didn't see them get in the ring and crazy things happen where a fight won't even go as far as it's just so many things. Nothing is done in boxing until it's over. And so I like when it comes to contractual stuff, when it comes to rematch clauses, I pay it mine because I'm extremely grateful that Deontay has me as his head trainer, but he brings me in on more than just training. Like, you know what I mean? He brings me in from a standpoint of, you can say, like, he wants me to hear the business aspects. He wants to go over the plans and strategy of business with me, or at least have me there and witness it, at least get my opinion and my perspective on it. And that's a very, very, very important seed for a young trainer like me that's coming in the game as a trainer, but have tons of knowledge from the boxing aspect, but from the business aspect, it hasn't been something that I've always been interested in. I haven't had the best contracts when I was a fighter. I'm not good at business. Like, what I mean? I'm just not. I don't know what it is. I'm not good at selling stuff. I'm not good at anything like that. I'm good at studying, drilling, practicing, practicing, going from the floor to sparring to fight, geeking out with film study. That's my strength. But lately, over this last 2 years, Deontay has upped the note on my business mindset when it comes to boxing. And because of him, I have, you could say, elevated my mindset to actually, I can see myself managing fighters now, because I understand contractual work way more because of him putting me in these rooms, introducing me to these people, having me associated or communicating with these people at a high level concerning the business aspect. And it's a good thing, man, because it all adds on to, you could say, my arsenal, not just as a teacher, but also as a businessman. So I'm learning from all aspects more and more and more.
Malik, thank you so much again for giving me your time. Honestly, this is,
absolutely.
As I said,
I think it's only right that we say how this interview happened, just for the sake of mankind. I want people to know this. The way you go about your business and the way you go about wanting things in life says everything. You reached out to me while I'm literally handling vinyls. I'm washing clothes. I'm getting stuff together. I haven't talked to nobody in the last 5 hours just because I've been busy. I explained that to you in very small detail. I said, I'm busy, man, but I get at you when I get at you. Your reply to that was like, Malik, no problem. I'll appreciate it when you can. Sorry for bothering you, brother. You had so much humility in your reply that I stopped what I was doing out of my appreciation to your consideration, that I said, no, I'm giving this brother however much time that he needs from me. And what did that do? You could say that kind of started a bond that we built it from here now, because if you can have that humility from wanting to get an interview, that means you can have that humility as a person And I fuck with people that are good people. They have good humility. They're not perfect, but you know, they understand the way how to go about moving in life when you want something done the right way. So I appreciate your consideration, brother. Anytime you need me, I'm here. And hopefully I get to talk to you when I land in London.
You will 1,000,000%. I will be there at the airport, mate, waiting.
My man.
Just obviously, just to carry on from that. Obviously, I do Twitter Spaces. I've created a Twitter space called Banner Unboxing, in which I'm trying to act as a bridge for the normal fans, and for people such as yourself, within boxing, who, because a lot of the time people don't get to talk to their heroes. I hear that all the time,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to
Sometimes
bring.
they don't want to talk to their heroes. Sometimes it's better you don't talk to your heroes because sometimes your heroes aren't piped up with you knowing them to be from these screens or from things you heard about them. But I get what you're saying.
But this is the thing as well, like how obviously my nana taught me well, and you always have to have respect and manners in life. And the thing is that what people don't understand is you are a human being. Deontay is a human being. Anthony Joshua is a human being. I,
Yes.
with my interviews, I always try to highlight this with people, because you get a lot of online trolls, and you get and I'm sure obviously you've had plenty of abuse. Deontay has as well. But I'm
Yeah.
just trying to humanize people such as yourself as much as possible, so that the public aren't always so quick to be not that great. But
Yeah,
again,
but and always keep in mind, bro, this is the greatest show on earth. Not all because it's positivities.
yeah,
There's no show like the boxing show, and it's because there's no format to get in it. So if there's no pedigree or nothing to get in something, it's going to be all over the place. But I say this and I say this proud. There's not another business that I would rather be in than the boxing business. It's the greatest show on earth. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy I met you, brother. And like
I'm
I
happy I
said, when
met
I
you.
land in London, let's continue to communicate and get some more bigger stuff done.
Absolutely, Malik. I just want to say thank you so
Yeah,
much again. I hope you have an incredibly safe flight
yeah.
and fight. And yeah, this is Rico here for Sporting Icons with the legendary Malik Scott, trainer to Deontay Wilder, and now personal friend. Have an incredible fight, my
Yeah,
brother,
man.
and I wish you nothing but the best.
God bless your heart, brother. Peace.